Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another edition of the Slim Body Laser Spa's Health and Wellness Show. My name is Dr. Tread Rissacker, and I'm a doctor of chiropractic, and I'm full of energy and life and ready for this lockdown to go away. Get back to work. That's my goal, is to get back to work, everybody. And so what we're talking about here today is about your life, your health, and your wellness. And I want you to know a little bit about some of the truths and things that I have learned over the years about health and wellness. That's really why I'm here, to teach you that and to share my knowledge with you so you can have the information and the knowledge to make better choices. It really is about making choices, isn't it? Day in and day out, you got to make the right choice. I was reading I watched an article by Dr. Travis Stork from the Doctor Show, that good-looking MD, and he said that life is about making a series of choices, and you have to make the decision to be healthy in little increments, in little choices you make. And he said it can be up to 300 choices a day in order to be healthy. And you know, what would be an example of that? I decided to go to bed on time so I wouldn't be tired the next day. I showered before I went to bed, right? That's a good one. So you went in and got all the dirt off and you didn't go to bed with it on. You know, that you made your room very dark. So you turned off all the computers and the electronic lights, the red light, the blue light, that high intensity light, you know, so you can get a good night's sleep. You know, when you got up in the morning, you chose to brush your teeth. You chose to floss. Maybe you took a morning shower to wake up. Maybe you decided to do 10, 20 minutes of breathing, of a breathing exercise, a little morning meditation. Morning is when you set up your day. That is when you make a decision in that first 2 hours before all the world starts beating you down and pulling you down. That's when you make that decision of how your day is going to go. So that would be another decision that you make. Maybe the next decision is, I'm going to stick this 20 minutes out because, I got to go to work, So the other one is, what do you choose to put on TV in the morning? You watching the news? You want to hear more about the corona deaths, the corona infections? They probably don't apply to you as much. It just creates anxiety, knocks your health down. And then from there, what are you going to have for breakfast? What is your choice? Are you going to eat breakfast? Okay, maybe you realize that, having a bagel or a muffin or just grabbing a coffee and not eating anything is probably a bad decision. So you make a decision to have some good protein, some healthy food in the morning. Maybe you do some stretches. You get up in the morning and you realize that back problem that you had years ago that you've been suffering with is, if you don't keep stretching, it comes back. That would be another decision that you make. What are we up to, like 25 decisions already? And then you get in your car. Are you going to leave with enough time so you're not stressed over trying to get there on time? Maybe you get caught by the train like I did this morning. Are you going to speed? Are you going to wear your seatbelt? Right? Are you going to make sure that your passengers are safe and they're belted in also to care for other people? Are you going to give that person that's trying to squeeze into traffic, are you going to give them that boost to get in there, give them that little room to help somebody else? And we're not even at work yet, right? So it can go on and on. These choices are little choices that we make that over time make you a healthier, happier, more vital, more whole person. So what you want me to continue? I got a little text. Continue, doc. All right, so now you're at work and maybe you're self-employed or maybe you're not, and you decide that if I'm going to work, I'm going to do my work, and you stay off the internet. Maybe you have it set up so you're only checking your emails when you first get in at 12 o'clock and at the end of work. Have a pattern, a schedule for checking emails. They can rob you of so much valuable time. Maybe you're scrolling through Twitter. I would suggest you stay off of Twitter. unless you're into abuse, the Twitter mob. They count on you to be there. But, you know, at work is we spend most of our waking moments at work. So the choices you make to be healthy at work could also be, are you going to bring water or have good food or nutrition with you? It's true that people that manage their diet and their weight better, they bring lunch with them. They bring their food with them. They make it ahead of time and they bring it with them. That's a known fact. They plan it. They plan their meals. Are you going to get up every hour and stretch, or are you going to sit in that chair with that screen right in your face? Are you going to have a way of, they have these screen monitors, these screen covers, which protect you from a lot of that blue light. Are you going to utilize that tool to be healthier when you're at work, watching that computer? I'll tell you, you got to get up and stretch. If you sit in a chair for 30, 40, 50 minutes at a shot and you don't get up and move, you're going to develop back problems, you're going to develop butt problems, your feet are going to ache. You know, it is not a healthy thing to sit in one position. You got to get up and move. Are you taking your break, or is it a cigarette break? You know? Are you working to see of what service you can be to other people at work, to see how you can help other employees, help your boss, or even help your own business model? Or are you there just to get a paycheck and get the heck out? That decision, that desire to be helpful, to be supportive of the group, is a lot healthier and produces endorphins and serotonin and produces the good hormones which keep your body strong and fit, versus, oh God, I'm just counting the clock, watching it tick away. Oh, you know, I'm starting to get tired. I'm going to go get an energy drink. You know, that would be wrong action. And so now you go through your lunch. What are you going to have for lunch? Are you going to have something that's a good, wholesome meal? Or are you going to go grab a slice of pizza? Or as I saw the other day, after the girl came in for a consultation at my weight loss center, I went over the program with her, and we just happened to meet at Carmela's right after that because I did the consult and it was lunch. I bought a goat cheese salad, which has the goat cheese in it. It's a fresh salad with some blackened chicken breast on top. She bought 6 garlic knots that were baked in the oven with cheese on it and some sauce. That's a decision you make. So you can make a good decision. And what happens is when you have this too much carbohydrate for lunch, you're going to crash about 2 o'clock. You're going to be falling asleep by 3 because of that insulin spike. So it's really important to eat good healthy protein and good carbohydrate vegetables at complex carbs, but don't eat too much. Because if you overeat, your belly's going to be like a bomb and you're going to fall asleep just to pass it off, just like you would at Thanksgiving. So try to eat light at lunch. The other thing you'd want to do at work is you want to, at the midpoint between breakfast and lunch, about 10:30, have a protein snack. Have a protein mix that you can put in a bottle, and you put some scoops of your protein mix in, bring it to work, and then you go to the water cooler and you can fill it up with cold water and shake it. And then you're going to get a nice protein boost. And then after lunch, about 2:30, 3 o'clock, you're probably going to need a little energy, and I would suggest another protein shake, or a protein bar, or an apple, or some fresh cold cuts, you know, some kind of protein. So much better than sugar. Sugar is terrible, terrible, terrible. In fact, I would say one of the biggest choices we have to make every single day to be healthy and to be viable is to avoid sugar. Is to look at what you're eating and say to yourself, does this have a lot of sugar or not? If it has a lot of sugar, you should be warned about that, because diabetes is affecting 50% of our country has pre-diabetes. If you're an adult, you have pre-diabetes. The ones that are pre-diabetic, it's like 20-30% of our country is now diabetic. And it's from sugar. It's from sugar and processed foods and the sugar in everything. In fact, back in the early 1900s, the amount of sugar that we ate in 1 year was equal to what we eat in 1 day today. I read that statistic just this week. Let me repeat that. Sugar was so rare in food in the late 1800s and early 1900s that the amount of sugar they got all year was equal to what you eat in 1 day. And we wonder why we have an obesity epidemic. So that's a choice I know that I have to make 10, 15 times a day. So what other good health choices do I make in order to be healthy, as Travis Stark, that MD, had pointed out? So now you get into you're getting ready to get off of work, and are you going to finish, you're going to check your emails, make your connections, send people messages, and then let me ask you something. When you leave the office, do you unplug from the office or the work? Do you stop it and go to the next part of your life, which is to relax for the next few hours? Or you get into the car and you just dread the traffic and you didn't give yourself enough time, and now you're stressed again, and now you're going to have health issues from that. And as you go through work, you go through driving home, and you come in the door, usually when I come home, it's the honey-do, the honey-do list. Feed the dog, he threw up, I'm not cleaning that. Are you going to do it? Are you going to complain? The kids have been home, maybe they just got back from school, they want a little daddy time or a little mommy time. Are you going to blow them off, or are you going to hide from them? Get on the internet, act like you're not even there. Where's Dad? I don't know. He was home. Yeah, I know. Those decisions to support your family, that's the next jacket you wear. That's the next hat you put on. Is now you're a dad, or you're a mother, or you're a friend, or you're there with your mom. Are you going to make those calls? Let me ask you another question. Are you going to pay your bills on time? That's another choice you have to make. If you don't pay your bills on time and you don't manage your finances, you're going to have health problems because of the stress and the worry that comes from it. And then, are you going to help with the dishes? Make the wife a meal, or make your family a meal, or bring a meal to your aging mother or father somewhere? These are all actions which build strength, love, caring, and kindness. In other words, your health, your wellness, your ability to bounce back from disease, your ability to be what you consider healthy, is hundreds and hundreds of little decisions you make every single day. Now, this is a fact. Health is not a given. You are not given health. You are either working towards health or you're moving away from health. Health is not a constant, people. And every day, if you do more actions for benefiting your life, like I described, and less of those other ones, you'll be moving towards health. But if your day involves the opposite, didn't get up on work on time, went to bed too late, I'm tired, didn't want to take time to brush my teeth, sped to work, cut 3 people off, got in the parking spot, got at work, went right to the computer, started surfing online, boss came in, jumped offline, acted like I was working, checking the clock. I'm stressed, getting an energy drink about 10, thinking about how much you hate the employee next to you or the customers that are coming. I mean, I could go on with that. You understand where I'm going with this. It is a series of little decisions you make again and again that restore your health. All right. So that's my message today. You got to start somewhere, and it starts at home and with the little decisions. Make a list. Make a list. Be conscious of this. Sit down with a piece of paper and a little booklet and bring it with you and write down the decisions that you do every single day, from when you get up, from when you went to sleep, to the type of food you had, to did you skip meals, yes or no? Did you bring a snack? Were you kind to people or were you not kind to people? Did you speak to your parents, if necessary? Did you spend time with your children? Write out the things that are important to you and make a list, and then start taking inventory of yourself as to whether or not you did these or didn't do that, and can you improve. You know, Benjamin Franklin was an incredible person, as we know. Ben Franklin, he was an inventor. He was a politician, I guess. He was also somebody who started the colleges in Boston, and he was an incredible person at dealing with people. And what Ben Franklin did, he looked at I think it was, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think there was 8 or 12 problems that he dealt with, like selfishness, greed, anger, impatience, criticism, slothfulness, overeating, And then what he did was he identified each one of those problems, and for that week, he set up a 12-week process where every single week he dealt with each one of those problems, and that was his main focus for that whole week. And then he went to the end of that list of problems and he did them again. That's what I'm talking about. That man is disciplined, because otherwise you don't know you're doing it. It becomes a reaction. It becomes a habit. Talking about other people, wanting to share negative things with your family. I'll tell you, that's probably one of the hardest things for most people to do, is to see things on TV, to hear what's happening, to feel they have a knowledge that other people don't have, like, I see what you don't see, and I want to tell you about it. That might be good for you. It's not even good for you, because that, my friend, is criticism. And when you're sharing it with another person who's not interested or doesn't really, has their own life to lead, that's called interference. There's a thing called the law of non-interference. Stop interfering with other people's happiness by dumping what you think is going to happen. And I take care of a lot of people in my office at the Slim Body. I see this a lot. A lot of people are so stressed because, their partner, their friends just see the negative of everything. There's a lot of great stuff out there happening. We live in a country of 350 million people. What was it? The corona deaths? I think it's around the world. Am I correct in saying that? Is about 400,000? We have 350 million people. The world has 6 billion. 400,000 people. More than that will die in auto accidents next year, I promise you. And that doesn't belittle the severity of COVID or the fact that auto accidents are dangerous, but, you got to look at it. I like to look at things from a glass that's half full. I know the glass could be half empty. I know that it's going down, but I choose not to focus on that. I choose to focus on what I still have, so I stay happy and I stay peaceful. I'm looking forward to this fall so we get some cool weather, right? I think it's going to be good. We're going to get a lot of people are going to come back into our wonderful community here in Stuart, Florida, and they can help us and help you by bringing their income and their services, We're very much an economy that's dependent on our lovely people that come down from up north. I know my office sure is. So I'm staying positive, keeping my chin up and hoping that they'll not be scared to come down and enjoy the beautiful sun here down in South Florida. All right, so you're listening to Dr. Tread's Slim Body Laser Spa. I'm located on East Ocean Boulevard, across the street from the Fresh Market. It's a laser-assisted weight loss center. What I do there is I use an FDA-cleared device called a Lapex Lipo Laser, and it's really designed for spot fat reduction and body contouring. But when you include it with weight loss and you include it with nutrition and detoxification, it's a life-changing situation. We can lessen body fat, we can tighten skin, we can drop BMI, fatty BMI, which is your body mass index. We can shave percentage points off of that every time you come into the spa. Now with this high risk of COVID, and obesity is number 5 of the risk factors one of five. So there's 5 risk factors: heart disease, diabetes, cancer, stroke, breathing problems, and then obesity. I can help you with the obesity, and then everything else will get better. Okay, we're going to take a little break here and come back. When I come back, I am going to go over a little bit more about, I'm going to teach you today. Today's a teaching lesson. I'm going to go over the standard process that we use when confronting somebody with weight issues and what we tell them, how we explain it. And I think it'll be really informative for you to check that out. So come on back after the break. And again, this is Dr. Tread from Slim Body Laser Spa.